Testing. Hello. 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 Hello.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mount Lebanon High School Stadium for tonight's biggest game of the year in the WPIAL 6A. Takes on the Central Catholic Vikings, ranked number 1 in the WPIAL, and the defending champs in 6A. And your host, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils. Hello, everyone. Denny Postufka here, along with Brian Walters, Colin Witte. Just a pleasure to have you with us tonight on a warm night here for October, but we'll take it. Right now, it is 72 degrees before kickoff. They are calling for possible rain this afternoon, in the second half. We'll see if we can hold off. We've had no rain all year thus far. Great weather. Tonight's game, as I said, number 1 ranked Central Catholic comes in with a 5-1 record. Their one loss was in week 0, the first week of the year, when they lost to Imhotep Charter School 12-6, and they've run the slate since then. Mount Lebanon, of course, a perfect 6-0 on the season, looking for big things tonight. This is maybe the biggest game in this stadium in about 20 years, Brian. What do you think?
I was just going to say that, Denny. Good evening. Great to be with the voice of the Blue Devils, Denny Postufka, and, of course, Colin Witte as well, our senior student, with us, too. In our 26 years in Mount Lebanon, I can't think of a bigger regular season game. We talked about last week being a measuring stick for these Blue Devils when they went against North Allegheny. Well, here comes the midterm exam the following week with the Central Catholic Vikings storming in to Mount Lebanon Stadium. As you mentioned, the defending 6A WPIAL champion. They're 5-1, loaded with talent up and down the roster, including several elite D1 athletes. A midterm exam not only for this team, but really for Coach Palco's football program. He took over 3 years ago. He talked about elevating the expectations of this program. A cultural shift has taken place over the 3 seasons. Coach Palco has eliminated the excuses, and this team is playing at a very high level. We'll see if they're ready to move into the 6A Elite with this game today, Denny.
Yes, and last season, Mount Lebanon won the regular season contest by a score of 37-30, but then in the playoffs, Central Catholic came back and whooped us 35-0. But this is a new year, folks. Both teams, great offenses, great defenses. Mount Lebanon ranked number 1 in both offense and defense in 6A, and right behind them, Central Catholic at number 2. Lebo offense averaging 38.5 points per game. Defense only giving up 9 a game. Central Catholic, right on our tails, though, scoring 35.3 a game. Defense giving up 10.2 a game. And Lebo, it all starts with our 3 skilled players, Joey Daniels at quarterback, Eli Texa, our running back, and Eli Heidenreich, wide receiver. Let's start with Joey Daniels. What a year he's had, Colin.
From his junior year now to his senior year, it's kind of elevated this whole offense. Can get the ball out as well, and he's the leader.
Joey Daniels comes into this game 45 for 77 for 935 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. And, folks, that average is good for 20.7 yards per completion, 20 yards per catch. Let's talk about running back Alex Texa. You want to talk about some good numbers there as well on the stat sheet. 75 carries, 718 yards. That's 9.5 a carry. A long run of 80 on the season. He has 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, Alex is a guy where whenever he gets the ball, Brian, it feels like he's going to score. And Alex is having a tremendous year. They use him in multiple different ways. You're going to see some wildcats tonight. You're going to see him getting the ball out in space. Number 5 is a problem for Central.
Boy, you've said that right, Colin. We've said it all season long. It's like he's shot out of a cannon. Alex's speed and toughness, whether it's up the middle runs or to the outside, Alex is a threat to take it to the house every single time. Interesting to see if Central chooses to kick off to Alex Teska. I was surprised NA kicked off to him as much as they did last week.
And lastly, wide receiver we spoke about, Eli Heidenreich. What a season. 19 catches, 573 yards. That's a 30-yard per catch average. Unbelievable. Also with 10 touchdowns on the season. Let's go to Colin here for our 3 keys to tonight's game.
Physicality. Mount Lebanon, that needs to stop if they want to win here tonight. It starts with the big running between tacklers. Number 2, they need plays, and they need a big play. Whether it's they need to make plays. had guys like Anderson and Beersdorf. They're going to have to make plays if the Blue Devils want to win tonight.
Noah Buddha teeing it up to start this game for Mount Lebanon. Back deep to receive for Central Catholic, number 4, Gannon Carruthers, and number 10, Brandon Jackson. And folks, we are underway. And it'll be Carruthers, took it at his own 5-yard line. Oh, he has running room, breaks across the 30, across the 40. Nice run, breaks another tackle. He's tiptoeing down the sidelines, cannot be stopped. Looks like he stayed in bounds the entire way for a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Wow.
Wow is right. Boy, not certain what exactly happened there. They rolled two of the interior kickoff men to cover contain on the outside, lost containment. He got to the sideline, which is never what you want to see happen on a kick return. And, of course, once you get to the sideline, there's no one left there. That's a touchdown. Boy, that really hurts. Last year in the playoff game, that fake punt was a killer on the special teams in the first quarter.
Yes, it was.
Already we're down 6-0 extra point pending, and we've struggled on special teams this whole season.
They returned it for a touchdown.
38, Matthew Shearer on for the point after. Has 21 extra points on the season. 36 total points. Kick is up and good. Didn't take long, 15 seconds into it. Central Catholic, 7. Mount Lebanon, nothing.
Well, you know, again, against Central Catholic, all the little things matter in this game. Whether it's special teams, whether it's penalties, you know, all those little things add up when you're playing a team that's as confident and as used to winning as Central Catholic. You cannot give them any easy scores. 15 seconds in and we're down 7-0. Wow.
Our officials for tonight's game, the referee is Kerry Ripley, umpire Bruce Crevaro, linesman Bob Madison, line judge Kevin Searfoss, side judge Brian Wisniewski, and field judge Dave McCarthy.
Well, again, you know, we said at the top about Alex being such a threat. Alex is typically deep on the kickoffs. I expect him to be deep on this kickoff. We'll be receiving in the south end zone. Curious if Central chooses to kick off. Both Eli and Alex are deep. Very dangerous return men. I would not be surprised to see either a pooch kick or an on-the-ground kick, keeping it away from both Texton and Heidenreich, the Division I recruits from Mount Lebanon.
Lebo in their all navy blue uniforms tonight, switching it up every week it seems like. We had the all gold jersey and pants last week with the blue helmets with the gold horns. Central Catholic here with their purple helmets, white shirts, and gold pants.
Central will be kicking out of the north end zone into the south end zone of Mount Lebanon Stadium, so they're kicking on the scoreboard side into the open end zone.
Shearer to kick it off for the Vikings. Line drive kick, but deep. Heidenreich will take it. There's their whistle, so they were going to call this a touchback. It looked like he was straddling the goal line, but in high school football, a kickoff into the end zone is an automatic touchback. So Lebo will take over 1st and 10 from our own 20-yard line.
Yeah, so again, Central Catholic not too worried about Heidenreich and Teska back deep. They kick to our dangerous return men. Eli fields it at 2, carries himself into the end zone. They call it a touchback. Mount Lebanon will take over at the 20-yard line. Let's set the Mount Lebanon offensive line. That's Kay Capristo at left tackle. At left guard is Owen Halter. At center, James Klein. At right guard, that's Will Harvey. And at right tackle, that's Joey Peters.
Heidenreich in motion. Daniels fakes, and he's going to get sacked on the first play of the game. And that's going to be number 3, J.D. Younger on the stop. If you remember, Brian, they gave us fits in the playoff game last year where Joey was sacked 8 times.
So Joey was looking left the entire way. They had Michael Beersdorf out there. Looked like he was running long. Problem is, we had no tight end on that side. The outside linebacker came free unblocked. Joey Daniels had no chance. That was a big problem last year in the playoff game.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Daniels looks. He's going to throw deep down the left sideline. Got him in. Oh, incomplete. Alex Texa had to step on his man, Robinson Wendell, but just a bit too far out of his reach.
Yeah, good coverage there by let Alex Texa to the sideline. Joey just made that very tight with the
You know, you look at Central Catholic, they're using a 4-man front with 3 middle linebackers. Their big linebackers, number 16, only a sophomore, Anthony Specca, has a offer from University of Notre Dame as well as Penn State University and University of Pittsburgh, a heavy hitter at middle linebacker. I was curious whether Mount Lebanon would even try to run the ball against this very stout Central defense.
Daniels, straight drop back. Now you got to roll right. Pressure coming. Throws to the right. Complete. Heidenreich. Going to come up short of a first down, though, but he'll pick up about 12 on the play, and it'll be 4th and 3 ball at the 27-yard line.
There you go. You find Daniels, the senior signal caller, all-conference quarterback, 3-year starter, finds his most favorite target. That's number 8, senior Eli Heidenreich, who's a Navy recruit. He catches it, but well defended by the Central Catholic Vikings defense. He's well short of the first down, and the Blue Devils will be punting. Again, Colin, special teams has been a bit of an adventure for Mount Lebanon so far this season. Big punt right here.
Yeah.
Beersdorf to punt it away. Low line drive kick, but he's going to get a heck of a roll, and that's going to be Brandon Jackson, and he's going to be stopped back around his own 25-yard line.
Yeah, tremendous coverage by the Blue Devils on that play. That was number 4 on the coverage there. Matthew Wirtz, of course, Matt had a big interception last week against NA. Matt, one of the fastest players. You know him as our starting cornerback, having an outstanding season, short tackler, did a great job on the punt coverage that time. Colin, we just flipped the field on the Vikings right here.
Yeah, absolutely, Mount Lebanon. That's exactly what we needed. Flip the field. Now we get to see this Blue Devils struggle against this Central offense.
Now, if you're watching at home, what's going on right now? Well, it's a TV timeout. You're not going to have any TV timeouts on the Lebo Live YouTube network, but this is also being broadcast on the channel 22. That's Fox 53 is also televising it. Also, believe it or not, it's being live streamed by the Trib as well. So we're one of 3 broadcast teams covering this big 6A matchup, Denny.
So any of you viewers out there who tuned in to us, thank you very much. Glad to have you on board tonight.
We appreciate our loyal followers. Denny, we talked a little bit about these two teams meeting last season. They split 1-1. I think people forget Mount Lebanon went on the road last year, played in Wilkinsburg against Central Catholic in a crazy back-and-forth game. Mount Lebanon won. Kind of felt that was a turning point for this program at that point in time. But then in the playoffs got absolutely buzzsawed by Central Catholic. You go back to the last season of head coach Mike Melnick, 2018. The Blue Devils go into Highmark Stadium, Central Catholic's home stadium, on senior night for Central Catholic. In a driving rainstorm, Seth Morgan, now the starting quarterback for VMI, upset Central Catholic on the road. So it's not like Mount Lebanon versus NA where we haven't beaten them since 2005. We've beaten them 2 out of the last 3 regular season games. Mount Lebanon has beaten Central Catholic. Now, playoffs have been an entirely different story. Both these last 2 years, Central Catholic has really taken Mount Lebanon out to the woodshed.
So as Brian mentioned, our timeouts will be a little longer tonight due to the television coverage on WPNT. But Central's now going to take the field. Ball at their own 16-yard line where they'll take over 1st and 10. 10:47 remaining here. First period, Central 7, Mount Lebanon nothing.
Mount Lebanon in their base 3-4 defense. We've talked about it all season. Anchoring that defense is big number 75, Will Harvey. And it's Jack Smith on the tackle there. Gain of probably a loss of maybe.
Quarterback Peyton Wayner. Wayner, sophomore. He's 64 of 99 passing on the season. Has 7 touchdown passes, only 1 interception.
Tackle by number 7, Jack Smith. That's the senior Harvard baseball commit is Jack Smith.
Good hard run up the middle. Breaks the tackle. That's Carruthers who ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. And he's going to get enough for first down yardage there. Heidenreich on the stop for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, anchored by Will Harvey. On either side of him is Grayson D., the junior, and then Owen Halter as well. In for Halter is number 55, Joey Peters.
Wayner looks left, complete. Nice run after the catch. It's going to be near first down yardage. And that looked like, was that Daniel Yee on the catch?
I got to tell you, Denny and Colin, Mount Lebanon looks to be a bit on its heels right now. We've not seen this Mount Lebanon defense start slowly this entire season.
The starting defense only gave up their first 2 touchdowns a week ago. Now that time, some tough sledding for Carruthers. Jack Smith's going to lead the way along with a host of other Blue Devils. He may get 2 yards on the play, bring up second down.
Yeah, also in on the tackle was number 17, Tommy Boehner. We've talked about him a lot, the senior. He's co-captain. He's going to Bowdoin. Also in on that play was number 52, Daniel King. He's back at middle linebacker with Charlie Pellegrino, number 34, the senior.
Actually, they gave him 4 on the play out to the 43, 2nd and 6. Carruthers off the right side. Not much running room that time. May get a yard. Daniel King on the play. Tommy Boehner in there to help out.
Yeah, that's the senior co-captain, Daniel King. He's back at middle linebacker. You also saw Will Harvey, big number 75, the senior, get a lot of penetration into that backfield.
Ball in the 44, 3rd down and 5. Wayner, son of Jim Wayner, who was the former Baldwin High School head coach. He's now an assistant on the Central Catholic sideline. Sidecar and Carruthers to his left. Fakes the handoff to Carruthers. Incomplete pass. Quick hitter. Lebo was all over that. Brandon Jackson was your intended receiver, but it's going to bring a 4th and 5 up at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, great recognition there by Tommy at the outside linebacker. Saw the screen the whole way, interfered it, play made by Vander right there.
We've not seen the Blue Devils blitz a lot. They blitzed on that play as well. Well-timed call by head defensive coordinator, Coach Kim Niabala. Coach Niabala came over to Mount Lebanon from West Allegheny with Coach Palka.
Last play.
Central didn't fake their first punt on their first drive, so look for another fake here.
Shearer, who also does the place kicking on the punt, a wobbly one to the right side. Looks like it's going to kick out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. Let's call that a 36-yard punt, and Mount Lebanon will take over 1st and 10.
I don't make many promises, but I'm going to make this promise. I do not think Mount Lebanon will let Central Catholic run a fake punt after last year's playoff loss. That first quarter fake punt was an absolute killer. You saw Mount Lebanon not even run their punt team out there. That was their first team defense that was set on the field, and they were in a defensive formation even when Central was punting. I expect to see that a lot tonight from Coach Palco and Coach Nee as they prepare to receive punts from Central Catholic.
It's funny, even the teams aren't used to this being a televised game, as both teams went right onto the field after the exchange, and they were both waved back to their sidelines for the commercial break.
Yeah, Denny, this game has a little bit different feel to it. There was a kind of a buzz in the community all week about this game. Colin, as a student, you're a senior. What was it like in the high school this week? Were students fired up? Were people talking about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Mount Lebanon, it seems like in my time here as a high school student, this is the biggest game I've ever been a part of. You know, obviously getting the broadcasting with you guys, but the vibe around Mount Lebanon High School is they're just ready for this game. It's a huge, huge game. Implications of playoff implications of home field advantage. It's just a huge game for the Blue Devils. It could be a program-defining victory here tonight.
It was fun. My son Timmy, who plays football at Franklin and Marshall, was a bye week. He drove in with one of his teammates, Harry, who was captain of the Gonzaga football team. Gonzaga, very strong football program in Washington, D.C. And
Okay.
Harry, driving through uptown Mount Lebanon, was commenting on, wow, this is big-time high school football, because you've got so many kids he saw out in the community wearing Mount Lebanon football jerseys. The youth football teams had their kids all dressed up in the Mount Lebanon jerseys. Yeah, Mount Lebanon seemed fired up for this game. I know a lot of people were coming back for this game. They were expecting 10,000 fans. Denny and Colin, I don't know that we have quite 10,000, but the stands have filled up pretty significantly here since kickoff.
Yes, they have. This is definitely the biggest crowd we've had all season. And Colin, as you mentioned, the biggest game since you've been here. In the 7 years I've been broadcasting these games, this is the biggest game I've been a part of as well.
Nothing but a lot of respect for this Pittsburgh Central Catholic football program.
Looks like we have a, well, no, going to have Texas in motion. Fakes the handoff. He'll keep up the middle. Eli Heidenreich taking the Wildcat snap up to the 25-yard line. And both Barron and Missouri on the stop for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's the guy, man.
This time we have 3 wide receivers to the right, Jack Smith included, and he's going to motion back in toward the formation. Daniels, handoff, Texa, good hard run, breaks one tackle, finally dragged on. He's going to be close to a first down as he gets near to the 30-yard line. J.D. Younger on the stop.
You know, again, another typical Alex Teska run. Not much there. He takes on the first contact and then gains an extra 3 yards, picks up the Mount Lebanon first down. Alex Teska has been falling forward after hits the entire season, picking up an extra 3-4 yards every single time, it seems like.
Going to go 3 wide to the right again. And we have Jack Smith taking the direct snap this time. Pellegrino was in motion. Smith will keep. Gets hit, spins out of one tackle. Uh-oh, ball's loose. And it looks like Central Catholic came up with it. If he was not down, this ball is going to go over to Central Catholic. Let's see what the call is.
Wow.
It is Central Catholic football. Tough turnover.
Yeah, Jack, 215 pounds, 6'3", multi-sport athlete, kind of does it all. No stranger to carrying the football. Was a quarterback, can play tight end, H-back. Of course, we know him as having an outstanding season outside linebacker. They have used him in the Wildcat. They've run that play quite a bit, whether it's Eli running the Wildcat, Jack running the Wildcat, or Alex running the Wildcat. That time, critical turnover. We're already -2 in mistakes. The opening kickoff and now a fumble, and Central takes over deep in Mount Lebanon territory.
Not the way to start in a battle of this magnitude. A turnover as well as a splash play against us, and this will be Carruthers. Gets out of the tackle of Owen Halter, goes for 2 or 3 more yards. Late flag on the play. It'll be about a 4-yard gain. Charlie Pellegrino on the stop, but let's see what the flag's all about.
Yeah, gotta believe that's either a hold or a block in the back from Central Catholic. Cannot believe that could possibly be on Mount Lebanon. How's that for an objective opinion from the Mount Lebanon broadcaster?
I think you may be right. Although they're talking this over quite a bit, and Mount Lebanon looks like they are in approval of whatever this call is. And here comes the decision from the official, personal foul. Didn't specify what the personal foul was, but it's going to march Central Catholic back 15 yards.
Well, that's a big penalty for Mount Lebanon to pick up against Central and helps improve field position.
Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
As Mount Lebanon defends its territory.
It was right where the play ended. If something happened there on the pile when Carruthers went down, that's exactly where the flag was thrown. So now they are back at the Mount Lebanon 49-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 24. Boo. Come flying in there. Delivering the blow was Alex Texa.
Alex Texa was a great play there. Usually at the safety position, but Alex coming up, and with a guy like Carruthers as your running back, you're going to need these safeties to come up, and Alex does that, making a big play.
Alex was an all-conference safety as a sophomore. Now, we think of him as a great offensive scoring threat, but he's an equally lethal defender. Senior Alex Teska, 2-time all-conference 6A player.
Central, they're going to bring number 19 Altsman in motion. Wayner's going to throw deep down the middle. It's going to go over everyone. Incomplete.
Yeah, great coverage by Matthew Wirtz, and then, of course, over the top, Eli Heidenreich was there as well. Tough to throw over the Mount Lebanon safeties with all-conference players Heidenreich and Teska back at safety. Denny and Colin missing from the Mount Lebanon defense, though, is leading tackler Will Hartung, middle linebacker. He's out for the season with an ACL. He was number 43. And also Sam Ward, starting cornerback. His second game, Sam's been out, too.
Handoff goes to Carruthers off the left side. Tough finding any running room. Tommy Boehner comes in there with Matt Wirtz, and he's going to lose 2 or 3 on the play.
Yeah, great play there. And that play's made by number 7, who just fumbled, Jack Smith. Back inside and made the play, in my opinion.
Exactly, Colin. You nailed it. Jack Smith set the edge. That prevented that play from going anywhere. Jack won't get the credit for the actual tackle, but it was really Jack's play that made that tackle possible. Well done by the senior Harvard commit, Jack Smith.
Shearer on for his second punt of the night from midfield. Off the right side of his foot, but he's going to get some good distance out of it. Picked up around the 12-yard line. Texa will get out to about the 16, where Mount Lebanon will take over 1st and 10.
The challenge with that, Denny and Colin, is, again, Mount Lebanon is not setting up for punt returns. Their defense was still on the field waiting for a fake punt. So going to be tough for our returners to return punts. because they're really not going to get a whole lot of blocking. It's not really set up for blocking. Wow. Huge student section crowd, Colin.
Steelers are blocking both jerseys and even some terrible towels down there. Oh yeah, and just to note, I believe Donovan Heinisch changing his jersey number. I don't see a 51 out there, so it looks like he's wearing number 12 tonight. Not confirmed yet though, but very likely.
That was a famous trick play for freshman football. You'd always change the jersey number of somebody. But Central Catholic pulling out here in this game. Heinisch, of course, tortured Mount Lebanon last year in the playoff game. I mean, I thought we were watching Joe Green play last season. Donovan Heinisch, a legitimate Division I recruit for Central Catholic. And again, this Central Catholic team is loaded with them up and down their roster. Although, let's not underestimate the Division I talent that Mount Lebanon has, too. We've got Eli Heidenreich and Alex Teska, both Army and Navy recruits, although Eli, of course, is already committed to Navy. Alex still undecided. Several other players capable of playing at that level. Some of them are juniors as well.
From the training room to the playing field, UPMC Sports Medicine helps Mount Lebanon recover from injury and improve performance. To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
So, Denny, a bit surprising so far with this Mount Lebanon offense because we haven't seen them sputter so far like this. First drive, 3 and out. Second drive, turnover. I'd say this is a big drive for the Blue Devils. Third drive of the game.
Daniels will lead them out. 2 wide receivers to each side and an H-back on the short wing to the right. Daniels is going to throw a quick hitter to Texa. Good run. He'll get maybe 4 or 5 on the play. Anthony Specca coming up to make the stop for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's the Notre Dame recruit, Anthony Specca, only a sophomore, started as a freshman for Central Catholic, and a legitimate Division I talent. Was not going to let Teska run probably is Mount Lebanon's favorite play, that inside screen.
Gain of 4, second down 6, 3 wide right, and J.D. Younger jumping the gun this time for Central Catholic. Mount Lebanon is going to be the beneficiary of 5 yards. It should bring up a 2nd and 1 after they move the chains.
Boy, if you remember 2018, Mount Lebanon went on the road to Central Catholic, played in a driving rainstorm, and Mount Lebanon drew Central Catholic off, I think, that game 7 times.
Wow.
With Seth Morgan's hard count. And there you see Joey Daniels doing it 1 time already against Central, and he almost got them earlier in that first drive, too.
Same formation, handoff to Texa. Got room on the right side, breaks through the front defense. Has more room to go down the right sideline.
Go.
Great block downfield by Eli Heidenreich. Wow, what a run.
What a run by Alex Texa. We talked about it pregame. Alex can break any play. You saw it there. Didn't take it to the house. Brian, how about the downfield blocking from Eli Heidenreich? Looks like he ran over 2 defenders on that play.
2 blocks on that play. It was not only Eli Heidenreich, number 8, the senior co-captain, but also Brandon Anderson, number 12, also threw a key block.
58-yard gain. Alex Texa. He's going to get a little breather here as Tommy Boehner comes in at tailback. Lebo in business here. 1st and 10 down at the 17-yard line of the Vikings. Fake handoff to Boehner. Oh, pressure, and Joey's going to go down for the 2nd time tonight. Looked like J.D. Younger and Robert Fulton both in on the play there.
Late flag, Denny. Maybe taunting or unnecessary roughness, but it looks like a late flag that will go on the Vikings. Big break in there if that's what it is.
Officials huddling near the Mount Lebanon huddle.
This offensive line has been so stout for Mount Lebanon this entire season. We have not seen Joey really pressured much this entire year. But Central, again, you're playing the elite of the 6A with Division I talent up front on their D-line.
Good call, Colin. And they're going to take that. Should be half the distance to the goal. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 11-yard line where Lebo will take over 1st and 10 so they can get a first down inside the 1. No, excuse me, folks. They're going to mark this It must have been marked from the spot which was in the backfield, because I think the officials even are wondering if they have the right spot here. They have the ball at the 11-yard line, but the start of the drive was at the 17. So,
What was a dead ball personal foul?
right.
So it's from where he was sacked. And so
Yards instead of 15. I believe so.
For unsportsmanlike conduct, I don't think.
Yeah, I would have thought
That's
that was
the only-
a 15-yard penalty.
That's the only thing, because
That's why I'm thinking it was actually half the distance to the goal. So if it's the 11, that would make the infraction occurred at the 22-yard line, which is about where Joey got sacked. So that must be what they're calling half the distance to the goal from the spot of the infraction.
Denny, wait a second. You just said half. I failed math. You can't say things like half the distance. Colin, what math are you taking right now in high school?
it's a calculus. I still can't figure this out.
Don't worry, you'll never use it again in life.
All right, here we go. Mount Lebanon in business. They'll be second down and 5.
And Mount Lebanon with, not the best start. Obviously, 2 turnovers. If you want to call that run back. But that's a play what Alex Texas could do. He could get you back into this play, and he did on that play. Let's see if Mount Lebanon can punch it in.
So it appears the lead stick is around the 7-yard line. So we'll call it 2nd and 4. Texa kind of tried to put the brakes on, slid forward, but actually still got 3 yards after that.
Again, Alex Teska's athleticism, and his just football instinct and vision there. That hole was not there. Alex Teska slams on the brakes, slithers to the side, finds an opening. No one does a better job in the WPIAL keeping their shoulders square to the field and getting yards after contact. Done it all year. Alex Teska picks up a big Mount Lebanon first down.
It'll be 1st and goal. Ball at the 7-yard line. Daniels in shotgun. Hands off to Texa up the middle. No, number 12 on hit. Is that Heinisch?
That is Heinisch.
Folks, he normally wears number 51, but for whatever reason, there was a uniform change, as we said. Younger, number 3, in on the stop as well.
Yeah, Heinisch, an absolute load. Slams in at 6'2", 275. Slams into Teska, and Teska, Alex carries him several yards. I mean, any doubt Alex can play Division I football, I think he just answered it right there. Carrying Heinisch a couple yards all the way down to the 3-yard line where it's 1st and goal from
Package for the Blue Devils.
2nd and goal of 3. Pellegrino now in the backfield as well. Texa takes it in, walks into the end zone for a Mount Lebanon touchdown. Alex Texa, his 11th touchdown this season.
Had a lot of success this entire season running over Big James Klein, the center. Of course, at guards, also Will Harvey and Owen Halter. That's kind of the strength of this team. Alex Teska goes right up the middle and untouched into the end zone. Mount Lebanon answers 7-6, extra point pending.
Number 38, Noah Buddha, on for the point after. On the season, he is 27 of 31 on extra points. He'll knock that one through, and with 2:56 remaining here in the opening period, Mount Lebanon 7, Central Catholic 7.
Yeah, great snap by the long snapper, junior Luke Lombardo, number 31. He's done a great job as the specialist long snapping this entire season. Great job, Luke. All right, Colin, Denny, we got to cover some kicks this season. And we improved last week a little bit, but we cannot be giving up big returns.
Yeah, absolutely. The special teams game, of course, the one week I don't put it on my list of the 3 games, they go back and take the opening kickoff to the house. So I blame myself on that one. But the Blue Devils really, really need.
Well, they're not fooling around. They just brought in the starters on
Right.
the special team unit.
You're seeing you guys.
Yeah.
That Mount Lebanon scoring drive went 6 plays, 84 yards, highlighted by the big 58-yard run by Texa, and it took 2:43 off the clock.
Yeah, great answer by Mount Lebanon. Great answer by Mount Lebanon.
Buddha on to kickoff. Back deep once again will be Carruthers and Jackson for Central Catholic. Carruthers at the top of your screen. Jackson at the bottom. Buddha's approach. Kick is away, a short pooch kick. It's going to be fielded at the 27-yard line. And that's number 42, Gavin Stanek on the return, but hog-tied by Jacob Munoz.
Yeah, excellent tackle by number 2, the senior, Jacob Munoz. Jacob, 6'2", 205, plays outside linebacker and wide receiver. Big hit by Munoz, great coverage, great adjustment by Coach Niabala and Coach Palco on the special teams right there.
Ball on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 Vikings. They're going to go 3 wide to the right, 1 wide left. And that's 19 Altsman in motion. Fake handoff, incomplete pass. Come flying in on that was Matt Wirtz.
Yeah, again, we've talked about Matt Wirtz having an outstanding season at cornerback, had an interception last week. Matt, a senior, started some last year, cornerback as well.
2nd down 10, ball at the 30. Altsman's going to come in motion back into the formation as an H-back. Handoff, Carruthers, he's a good hard runner. Breaks 1 tackle, gets across the 40 for 1st down yardage. Daniel King along with Grayson D on the stop.
Yeah, again, nice recovery by middle linebacker Daniel King to bring down Carruthers. Carruthers, excellent move to shake for an extra 7 yards.
He's a hard runner. Coming into the season, Antonio Pitts was expected to be their star running back. And in week 1 in the game against Imhotep Charter School, Pitts went down, Carruthers came in, and Carruthers has not gone back out. He has maintained that starting position. He got 2 on that play, brings up 2nd down and 8.
Tackle by Grayson D and Will Harvey. Grayson D, the junior, having an outstanding season at defensive end. And, of course, the anchor of that D-line, senior number 75, Will Harvey.
2 wide to each side. Wayner, quick hitter to the right, complete. That's Jackson, close to a 1st down. In on the stop was Tex Up, along with Brendan Anderson. It's going to be marked about 1.5 yards, maybe close to 2 yards shy. Let's call it 3rd and 2. Wide to the right here, number 86 is Pete Gonzalez. If you recall, in the late 90s, Pete Gonzalez, the quarterback of the Pitt Panthers, that would be his son. Carruthers up the middle. He's going to get stopped. The official on the near sideline is giving him a very generous spot.
Oh, that is a
It looked
generous
like
spot.
I thought his knee hit around the 48-yard line. They're going to give him the 47, which is enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, you're going to hear the D names a lot. That's number 20, Beckham D, sophomore at middle linebacker, very active middle linebacker. Excellent tackle at the point of attack. I thought Beckham stopped him short of the 1st down there.
I did too. But another 1st down for Central. Wayner looking for the call from the sideline. Carruthers right behind him. Shotgun. It's going to be a pitch. Carruthers going around left, trying to get around the left side. Wow, I don't know. And they did call it. Matt Wirtz was held on the play, then thrown to the ground. This is going to be holding on Central Catholic. And, folks, as we said before kickoff, we were expecting rain sometime in the evening. It looked like around 8 o'clock, and a light rain has just started to fall here at the stadium.
You know, we mentioned Will Harvey, the senior from Mount Lebanon, number 75, having an outstanding season. Of course, several Harveys have gone through Mount Lebanon. His oldest brother, James, who went to Harvard, was on Mount Lebanon's last championship team. James played a variety of positions, including D-back and wide receiver, on that 2000 WPIAL championship team that beat Steve Breston, who went on to play in the pros from Woodland Hills.
So from the spot of the foul, that actually is an 8-yard penalty. So let's call it 1st and 18. Central Catholic ball at their own 45-yard line.
Mount Lebanon still in their base defense, 3 down linemen, 4 middle linebackers, 4 D-backs, linebackers, 2 middle linebackers.
Altsman in motion, sets up as an H-back. Carruthers wants to go up the middle, but he bounces it off to the right and gets some room. Daniel King's going to bring him down as he gets back toward the initial line of scrimmage, the 47 of Mount Lebanon.
Yeah, Carruthers is very, very special runner. He sees the hole and goes and he gets it. But Mount Lebanon played that well defensively.
Colin, does Carruthers have any Division I offers?
I believe he has one from the University of Pittsburgh.
Ball actually on Lebo 49. Wayner thrown to the right side. Incomplete. Looks like Gonzalez was the intended receiver. Anderson on the coverage for the Blue Devils.
Colin, you were in school this week. Did Mount Lebanon have a special visitor this week in the school building?
The head coach at Narduzzi was reporting high school today.
Now, is he there to offer you a scholarship for broadcasting?
Absolutely.
3rd and 12. Ball at the Mount Lebanon 49. Pass complete. Close to first down yardage. Vernon settles the receiver on the play, and they're going to mark him about a yard shy. Matt Wirtz coming up to make the play to stop the first down, so it's going to be 4th and 1.
Central's got those big boys up front. Got him back in there.
Known for this here.
Munoz now in the game for Mount Lebanon, giving Jack Smith a break. But that'll do it for this first quarter. What a game, folks. As we end the first quarter, Mount Lebanon 7, Central Catholic 7.
Yeah, outstanding first quarter by both teams. This is exactly what we thought. It's going to be a tight game the entire way. Two very evenly matched teams. Colin, one of your keys to the game was physicality. I'd say so far Mount Lebanon has answered that bell quite nicely. I do not see Mount Lebanon getting overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage like they did last year in the playoff game against Central.
No, absolutely not. And Mount Lebanon's really matching physicality. They can't.
Again, look, nothing but respect for the Central Catholic program. And, of course, Coach Terry Tonnen, great guy, and has done a great job leading that Central Catholic Vikings program. But like I said before, 2 out of the last 3 regular seasons, we've beaten Mount Lebanon. 2018 on the road, we've beaten Central Catholic. 2018 and again last year, 2020, beat them on the road. So it's not like we've not beaten Central Catholic. Admittedly, of course, playoffs have been a bit of a different story when Central has played Mount Lebanon.
The Mount Lebanon football boosters would like to thank First National Bank for all of their support this year.
Yeah, First National Bank doing an incredible job. Really grateful for the contributions they've made to the coaches' press box. So you're used to having the Mount Lebanon coaches on the historical, traditional home side press box. We've built an opposite field press box on the visitor side where just Mount Lebanon's coaches sit now. That's 4 of Mount Lebanon's coaches are in there right now, and that's been great. Could not have done that without First National Bank.
And let's give a shout out to some of our other student athletes while we have a minute here. Congratulations to senior golfers Zach Dyke and Lindsay Pawanda. They qualified for the PIAA State Championship round. Zach and Lindsay will compete in York, PA on Tuesday, October 19th.
Outstanding. Congratulations, women's golfers and that women's golf team. I know both men and women's teams have had good seasons this year in golf. Great job.
And Central Catholic here will start the second quarter with a 4th and 1. Ball at the Mount Lebanon 38-yard line.
Is anyone surprised they're going for it? 4th and 1 at the Mount Lebanon 38-yard line.
Not at all.
Look for a QB sneak here.
Mount Lebanon's still in their base defense, so just 3 down linemen still. 1, 2, 3, 4 linebackers, 4 D-backs. But now Teska much closer to the line of scrimmage, number 5, moving up from his strong safety position.
Is running for Hyderabad or Texas. Prevent that.
Play clock has not started yet, so
TV timeout.
this is longer than an NFL one on this one, though. Wow.
Yeah, if you look at Central, one of their key players is big number 19, tight end Josh Alstman.
So Wayner got the play call. Ball at the 38-yard line, 4th and 1. Carruthers right behind him. Hand off to Carruthers. He's going to go hard up the middle. Wow. Ran into a brick wall. It's all going to depend on the spot here. They're still scrumming. They're going to mark it close to that 37. It's going to be, this will take a measurement, I would think. Mount Lebanon defensive front met him immediately, but he kept the legs grinding. It's all going to depend on this spot. It's very close.
Denny.
Matter of inches, one way or the other.
That is super close. I think that was Daniel King who busted in there up the middle through the A gap right over the center. And he's got his Halloween costume already picked out. Daniel King's going to be a brick wall for Halloween.
There you go.
That's what it looked like running into that.
So they're going to stretch out the chains here. Let's see what we have. Wow. We're talking millimeters. Central Catholic first down by about an inch. And they'll keep the drive going at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, we're seeing Jacob Munoz sub in a lot more this game. Number 2, the senior outside linebacker and wide receiver. Of course, he had the big tackle on the second kickoff of the game for Mount Lebanon.
Central Catholic mounting a solid drive here. This will be the 10th play of the drive coming up. You're going to set Altsman right next to Younger. They're going to run behind both of them, but not much doing. Maybe a yard at the most. Beckham D was in there on the play.
Yeah, boy, Beckham very active at the middle linebacker spot. Very instinctive, well read. And let's just, if you set this defense right now, 11 defenders, 9 of them are seniors right now. 9 senior defenders out there, only 2 underclassmen.
No gain on the play. This time it'll be Jackson on the reverse. He'll get about 3 on the play. He's going to get knocked out of bounds on the far sideline by Eli Heidenreich and Alex Texa. He's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Alex just drove through that outside shoulder, holding contained the entire way to the sideline. I thought that play might break to the outside. Then you realize Alex is coming up. Just would not let the blocker turn him to the inside.
Ball at the 34-yard line, 3rd down and 7. Motion by Altsman. Handoff, Carruthers. Nowhere to go. He'll be lucky to make it back to the line of scrimmage, bringing up a 4th down.
Yeah. That was
Here with Vikings.
I'm going for it if I'm Central Catholic, but that's Daniel King's 4th tackle of the game, number 52. Again, very active. Owen Halter, number 68. He's going to Middlebury College to play both football and lacrosse. Great 2-sport athlete. He was in on that play too. Big 4th down, Denny.
Ball at the 34, 4th down and 7. Wayner looking for the play call. He's going to get in shotgun formation with Carruthers in the backfield with him. Wayner looks to the right, throws, quick pass, incomplete. Intended for Pete Gonzalez, and on the coverage was Brendan Anderson, and the ball will go over on down to Mount Lebanon.
That's the senior, number 12, Brendan Anderson. Of course, he had an interception last week as well. We've seen his play really pick up as the season's progressed, too.
Brendan Anderson, has really, really done a great job for this Mount Lebanon Blue Devils program, both offense and defense. But a huge stop on that play. Needed to get off the field, and now they do. Now let's see if they could get the workload. Alex Texas some carries on this drive here.
No doubt in my mind, Colin and Denny, that so far where 10 minutes and 21 seconds left in the second quarter, so far Mount Lebanon is matching Central Catholic's physicality at the point of attack. That has not been an issue. Colin Calder is one of the keys of the game. I would agree, too. We talked even last week heading into the North A and Central Catholic juggernaut. It was going to be about our line being able to maintain the line of scrimmage and control the line of scrimmage. So far, we're seeing them do a good job of that.
We're in a media timeout once again here, folks. So we have a little time to kill until the teams come back out and play.
Very good point. These TV timeouts, coach has not been substituting as much as we've seen in weeks past because we've had big leads. Opportunity for a lot of our two-way players to rest, which very good point brought up by Jack Kazora, our spotter. Thank you, Jack. Actually made me look smart, which is not easy to do.
Mount Lebanon, they've mixed in some Wildcat. try and get bits and pieces and try and break down the Central Catholic defense. Could you see Mount Lebanon going Wildcat?
I could, only because they've got the skill players to run that set. However, Central has been so stout against the run, it would not surprise me if they try to hit some short passes on this drive to loosen up that Central defense.
Handoff goes to Tex off the right side. Mount Lebanon had the right side of the line overloaded there with 2 H-backs, and he's going to get a nice run for about 7 yards on the play. Specca on the stop for the Vikings.
Hard running by Alex as he runs to the outside, and we talked about it. Joey Peters has really come on, number 55, the senior, 6'6", 230-pound right tackle. He's a two-sport athlete, also plays basketball for Coach Joe David, doing a very good job anchoring the right side of the line next to big Will Harvey.
Let's call it a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Ball at the 41-yard line. Jack Smith in motion. Daniels, hands off. Texa again. Going to get first down and more. Dragged on the play by Cushenberry, but it'll be enough for a Mount Lebanon first down.
Again, first contact was made a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and Alex gets 4 more yards. Just fighting, scrapping. Just such a tough inside runner. Talk about his athleticism, his vision, his instincts, but just a really tough runner.
1st and 10, Mount Lebanon, their own 48-yard line. Oh, a jump. Looks like Central Catholic up front. That was Ty Uhas at the nose tackle position. I think he jumped a little bit too soon.
We talked about Alex already coming into this game, had 10 touchdowns, 9 rushing, 1 receiving. He's got the Mount Lebanon touchdown again this evening. If Mount Lebanon's going to win, they're going to need a heavy dose of Alex Teska. Of course, mixed in with Alex Heidenreich, too. Or excuse me, Eli Heidenreich.
5-yard penalty. Ball now at the Central Catholic 47, 1st down and 5. Empty set. Daniels looks right. Complete to Heidenreich. Steps out of 1 tackle. Good hard run. He had 2 or 3 guys hanging on him, and that was Barron and Cushenberry, but he is going to be very close to a first down.
Yeah, this is part of the Marty's playbook. Really helps out Daniel. Get the ball to playmakers in space. They get it to Hayden right there, and he makes a play.
2nd down 1. Ball at the 43 of the Vikings.
For Heidenreich.
Beersdorf, 3 touchdowns on the season. Number 13, he split out wide to the left.
We have Pellegrino and Smith off to the left. Smith bounces back toward the formation. Texa, run 1 man. He's going to go down the right sideline. 1 man to beat. And he is in for a Mount Lebanon touchdown. Wow. Alex Texa from 43 yards out takes it to the house.
Central Catholic blitzed the left outside linebacker. Alex Teska saw that, broke the play to the right side. The outside linebacker who had blitzed was out of position. Ton of green space. Then you saw Alex's speed turn on, and then boom, again, his toughness. Hit at the 5-yard line, finds a way to get in the end zone. Senior Alex Teska, 2nd touchdown of the season, 2nd touchdown of the game, 12th of the season.
Buda's attempt is up, and it is good. With 8:12 remaining, first half. Mount Lebanon 14, Central Catholic 7.
Well, since that opening kickoff, Colin, Mount Lebanon has answered with back-to-back scoring drives, looking really physical, really efficient. Your thoughts?
Outstanding performance minus the first play, Brian. I mean, the first play, it couldn't have gone any worse, but Mount Lebanon has responded. They stood up to adversity. They matched it out, and they are running the ball.
Their playmakers' hands.
Blue Devils making quick work of it that time. Drive 4 plays, 66 yards, and only took 2 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. Alex Texa with 8:12 remaining in the first half. I just know on 2 carries alone is over 100 yards for the game, with a 58-yard touchdown run and that time a 43-yard touchdown run. And he's had some other nice ones mixed in there as well. What a night for Alex.
Okay, Mount Lebanon 6-0. Alex Teska has scored 2 touchdowns. He just scores on that play, and I hear the coaches screaming, Alex, Alex, Alex. That wasn't to give him a high five. That was to tell him to go get on the kick coverage team. They now have Teska, and Heidenreich on this kick coverage team, I think.
Best players this year for Blue Devils.
It looks like he pulled Alex out. He's got Heidenreich. They have Heidenreich on kick coverage right now as well. Coach Pelko's
That's a
not
starter.
fooling around. Tommy Boehner in on kick coverage now.
He does not want to see another one like that opening kickoff, so. I do.
I do not.
About halfway. How's that? It's going to bounce around the 18. It's still loose. Finally picked up, and that's Carruthers. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. And that was Grayson D on the tackle.
Yeah, good solid special teams tackle by the junior starting defensive end, number 32, Grayson D, having an outstanding season along the D-line, now covering special teams kicks too. Of course, Grayson was a running back all through youth football, up until kind of Coach Palco arrived at Mount Lebanon, and then Grayson learned to play a new position.
Noah Buddha getting a high five from Coach Palco as he came off the sideline. So I guess that was exactly what they called for, a pooch kick, and it fell on the ground without being caught in the air at the 18-yard line. Central takes over, though, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep this ball away from Central Catholic's athletes in open space on special teams.
Carruthers, got a hole, has room. Coming up to trip him up was Jacob Munoz.
I think that was Eli Heidenreich on the tackle from safety position.
Sometimes these 2s, 8s, and 6s look very similar on these uniforms, but first down, nice run by Carruthers. Has 660 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. 1st and 10, quick hitter, incomplete.
You take for granted because we're so used to seeing Eli play safety, but as a sophomore, he started at cornerback for the Blue Devils and not safety, and of course was moved to safety and been an all-conference caliber player at safety for the Blue Devils. Of course, also all-conference caliber wide receiver as well.
Wirtz on the coverage there, and that was number 32, Vernon Settles, was the intended receiver. He's a sophomore. Started as a freshman for Elizabeth Forward last year, but transferred over. Pass, complete. That's Brandon Jackson. Nice play for the Vikings. Tommy Boehner over there along with Anderson to knock him out of bounds, but another first down for Central Catholic.
Tell you what, Weiner got rid of that ball, but he took shot. He paid for that. Number 7, Jack Smith.
Coming around the edge.
Yeah, Jack Smith can drop the hammer for certain.
Ball on the 45-yard line of Mount Lebanon, 1st and 10, Vikings. 7:30 remaining here, first half. We're all tied up at 7. Weiner out of the shotgun. He's going to pitch. Carruthers around the right side.
Wow.
Ooh, nice hit. Eli Heidenreich coming up to lay the wood on that one. Wow.
Yeah, Eli, heavy hitter from that safety position, and you saw his power on full display right there. Hits Carruthers in the backfield for a 1-yard loss.
Loss of 1. Ball back at the 46-yard line now. 2nd down, 11. Vikings. They have Settles wide to the left. Jackson in the slot. Also Altman, and he's going to go in motion back toward the formation. Handoff. Carruthers met immediately. Halter as well as Boehner in the backfield. This is going to be another loss.
Yeah, Owen Halter, number 68, the senior. We talked about him, 2-sport athlete, a 2-way starter as well, both at offensive guard and defensive tackle, having an outstanding game. He's going to Middlebury College to play both football and lacrosse. Of course, his dad, Owen's dad, Jordan, played football for Notre Dame under Coach Lou Holtz. Came out of, I think, Bishop Rice High School outside of suburban Detroit.
Good stuff, Brian. 3rd and 12. Weiner, he's going to get pressure. Gets out of the first tackle, but he will go down. And that will be Owen Halter, speaking of the devil.
Wow, Owen again having an outstanding season, just a relentless motor. The first person in on that was Charlie Pellegrino, the linebacker on the blitz, number 34. And then Owen Halter just never stops. So determined, so relentless. The senior picks up the sack.
So the last 3 plays, a loss of 1, another loss of 1, and that time a loss of 5. So that's going to bring up 4th and 17. Shearer on the punt for the Vikings. Heidenreich back for Mount Lebanon.
I would not kick it to Eli if I was Central Catholic. I would not.
Short kick It's going to bounce first, and Eli just gets out of the way as this is going to roll dead right around the 22-yard line, where the Blue Devils will take over 1st and 10.
5:56 remaining in this second quarter, and Mount Lebanon, after being down 7-0 from the opening kickoff, has answered with 2 scoring drives. Be interesting to see what Mount Lebanon does here. They've done a nice job with the short passes. Timing has been very good between Joey Daniels on those short slants. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if second-year offensive coordinator Marty Spieler, we're going to see a play-action fake, pump, and something long, Colin.
Yeah, double move. Here.
Great. Top of the screen there. Get him on the double move.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about Coach Spieler. He's the second-year offensive coordinator who's done a great job evolving this offense. We've talked about him using a lot of different packages in his offensive sets, for different personnel groupings. He's liked to use the Wildcat with Teska in a quarterback, also Jack Smith in a quarterback, occasionally Eli in a quarterback. Done great. Of course, Coach Kim Niabala, the third-year defensive coordinator, he came over with Coach Palco when Coach Palco left West Allegheny. Everyone knows Coach Palco's story at West A, 8-time WPIAL champion in 3A at West A. You know, one of the most respected coaches in high school football in southwestern Pennsylvania. One of the key guys that also Coach Palco brought over was Ryan Reiser. Coach Reiser runs the player development program, has done an outstanding job of making this team just tougher and stronger, more physically fit. And it's not just about strength, it's about agility, nutrition. I mean, he's on the kids about how they sleep, when they eat, what they eat. Great job by Coach Reiser. This team's success is in terms of physicality at the point of attack. A lot of that can be attributed to Coach Reiser's programming over the last 3 seasons.
5:56 remaining, first half. We have 3 split to the right. Texas
Here.
Texas lined up as a wide receiver to the left on this play. Heidenreich, he'll keep right up the middle. Big Central Catholic defensive lineman bounced right off the tackle. I think that's Heinisch. It is.
Yeah, textbook play there from Heinisch, the Notre Dame recruit. Shed some blocker real hard. Not an easy guy to shed a block from. Makes a play there on Heidenreich.
No, I'll say a big Will Harvey, the guard, having an outstanding season on both sides of the ball for the Blue Devils.
Daniels back in. Shotgun formation. Texa behind him. 3 wide receivers to the right. Handoff, Texa, left side, gets through a hole. And dragged on. If he steps out of that tackle, look out. That was Specka, the sophomore inside linebacker.
Again, Specka, a Notre Dame recruit as well. Heinisch, Notre Dame recruit on the line for Central Catholic. Specka at linebacker, only a sophomore Notre Dame recruit. But there's Alex Teska carrying Specka for the first down. Great hard running by Alex, the senior co-captain and all-conference player.
Central Catholic, of course, has players from all over the area, and we have just all Mount Lebanon residents.
Oh, nice.
Joey Daniels rolls right. He's going to throw. Complete. Nice catch. Going up to grab it. That was Grayson D. Really nice catch for a first down.
Yeah, Grayson really evolving as a pass receiver. Of course, a tremendous athlete. Not surprised at all. Just hadn't really had the opportunity to catch as many balls. Last week had 3 receptions. Skies several inches off the ground to pull that one down from Joe Daniels, whose first receiver, Jack Smith, was covered. That was Joey's second option on that play. Nice pass by Joey, being patient to wait for Grayson on the drag.
Good play. Lebo out to the 48-yard line, 1st and 10.
There's 4 minutes. Get to this time. 4 in this first half. Ball to start the second half. The points here would be huge for the Blue Devils.
Smith in motion. He'll join Heidenreich to the right side. Daniels looks, checks down. Oh! Intended for Texa. J.D. Younger almost jumped the route. Joey was looking down the field, didn't like what he saw, so he went to the sideline there and luckily fell incomplete.
Younger looks like quite an athlete. Denny, did you talk to the Central coaches, and is that someone who's getting Division I interest?
He does. He has several offers. They didn't specify which schools, but he definitely has a handful of D1 offers.
So that's Younger, the outside linebacker, number 3 for Central. Almost an interception for him.
2nd and 10, handoff up the middle.
Ooh.
Not much doing that time for Texas. It's going to be Heinisch once again, having trouble keeping his helmet on. For the second time it's come off in as many plays.
Yeah, I get the sense, though, Heinisch is old school. He might be willing to play without a helmet.
Yeah,
You know, who knows?
big guy, tough guy.
Yeah, very
We'll
much
lose a
so.
yard on the play, bring up 3rd down and 11. Ball at the Mount Lebanon 47-yard line. Going to go with 3 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. Texa in the backfield. Joey trying to get him to jump again. We have 2 offside penalties by the defensive line of Central Catholic thus far. Now he's looking for a call. Play clock down to 7. Joey in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks right, then left. Doesn't have anybody. He's going to keep. Woo. Coming up to make a hit on the play was number 2, Devin Barron. Joey had time but could not find an open receiver. Rolled out and then ran out of time.
Good get time trying to make the play, but defense downfield giving themselves a chance before the first half.
Joey Daniels, all-conference quarterback. He did that last year based on his arm. We've really seen Joey's game round out this season. He's been outstanding on the run this season, too. And his decision-making on the run has been particularly outstanding.
He has 4 rushing touchdowns on the year to go with his 14 passing touchdowns. 4th down, ball in the 48. Beersdorf in the punt. Gets it away, but it's a wobbly kick, and it's wow, way out of bounds. This is not good. Let's see where they mark it at. The ball started at the 48-yard line of Mount Lebanon. Officials are marking it at the 35. Actually better than I thought. 17 yards on the punt. And with 2:27 left, let's see if this Blue Devil defense can stay strong against the Central Catholic offense.
That was Beardsdorf, the junior wide receiver on the punt. Very dynamic athlete, plays 3 sports. Also plays for Coach David on the basketball team and for Coach McCloskey on the baseball team, too.
He got an earful from Coach Pelko on the sideline coming off after that one. So, ball on the 35-yard line, Central, 1st and 10, reverse. And that's going to be Stellars.
Nice job.
First down, mispronounced that, is Settles, number 32 on the carry. Gets knocked out of bounds by Anderson. It'll stop the clock. Ball on the Central 46-yard line. 1st and 10 with 2:19 remaining in the half.
Yeah, that's the senior, number 12, Brandon Anderson. Did a great job of holding his ground and not letting that play be much worse than it could have been.
Here comes Carruthers. Breaks 2 nice sacks, 3 tackles, 1 to beat. Finally brought down by Eli Heidenreich after breaking 3 tackles. What a good hard runner Carruthers is.
Not surprised to see Carruthers having Division I offers, including University of Pittsburgh. Looks like an elite running back there. That was one of the rare sights. Alex Teska missing a tackle in the backfield. Do not see that very often.
Ball on the 33 of Lebo, 1st and 10. Swing pass, complete. That's number 10, Brandon Jackson. Fall! Mount Lebanon falls on it.
Wow.
Who got it? Wow, big stop there for the Blue Devils.
Out and recovered it.
Coach Niabala's defense refuses to give up touchdowns. Just extraordinary this whole season. What a great job Coach Nee's done with that defensive front. Central Catholic driving to the end of this half, but Mount Lebanon says no.
Bending a little, but certainly not breaking, as beside that opening kickoff that was run back 95 yards for a touchdown, the Lebo D has held strong.
Yeah, outstanding first half of play by Kim Niabala, the 3rd-year defense coordinator for the Blue Devils. His defensive unit, he has to be happy with what he's seeing from them.
1:44 remaining in the half. Lebo does have 2 timeouts remaining. Let's see if they take a shot. Whistles before the snap. It looks like it might be a timeout Mount Lebanon as the play clock was down to 2. Although he did get the snap off in time, but the timeout was called from the sideline prior to.
Yeah, that was going to be close, but he did get it off in time. So we have a timeout. Now might be a good time to also thank DV Sport for the tremendous job they do for Mount Lebanon football. All of the video footage that you're seeing on the YouTube Lebo live broadcast, as well as the footage that the team is using during the game, after the game, in preparation for the game, is brought to you by DV Sport. DV Sport, one of the leading sports software programs in all the country. They've got many Division I contracts, including the ACC, to do instant replay. And DV Sport, owned and operated by Brian Lowe, Mount Lebanon graduate, All-American soccer player at Mount Lebanon, went on to Boston College and became their all-time leading scorer as a place kicker.
1st and 10 Lebo, ball at their own 21-yard line. Daniels fakes the handoff. He's going to keep and runs it up the middle, gets a few yards. He'll be brought down around the 25-yard line. Specca on the stop for the Vikings. Clock now at 1:30.
And the half is a stand.
Give him 2 on the play. Call this 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 23-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right. We have Anderson split right in the slot. Heidenreich inside him. Jack Smith. Joey Daniels looks like he checked off at the line. Texa behind him. Daniels hands off to Texa. Tries the right side. Not much running room there. He's going to be met right around the 25-yard line by number 41, Rob Fulton. And a timeout will be called by Central Catholic, hoping to get it back one more time before the half.
Yeah, with 53 seconds left and with 2 timeouts remaining, good call by Central, as Mount Lebanon looks like they're content to try to run this clock out for the rest of the half, clinging to a 7-point lead.
While we have a minute here during this timeout, I would like to give a little shout-out to my oldest son, Bill Postufka, who's tuning in right now and watching us live from Manhattan in the heart of New York City. Glad to have you on board, Bill.
Excellent. Now, Denny, is Bill at an apartment or is he watching from a bar? Any details on where Bill is right now in Midtown Manhattan?
The text we got, he just says, "I'm watching your broadcast." So if you can text us one more time, Bill, and let us know where you're watching the game, that would be fantastic.
Only because I'm kind of envious of someone being in Manhattan right now. Sounds fun to be young again.
It is.
Denny, we're going to mention this only because we've mentioned it and we've won the last few games. James Klein's grandfather, Lloyd Klein, watching the game tonight from Concordia Nursing Home. Mr. Klein, great to have you with us. James having a great game at center for the Blue Devils.
3rd and 6. Daniels looks left, throws complete. Texas stops and then makes a nice move to the left, runs out of bounds, enough for a Mount Lebanon 1st down.
Yeah, great play by Joey. Pause mechanics, read through his first read, not there. Second read, not there. Goes in, checked out Alex Tessa. Like you said, Brian, you get the ball to Alex Tessa, he'll make a play for you and gets a much-needed 1st down.
Boy, you're right, Colin. Not a bad check down when you're thrown to number 5, Alex Teska, one of the leading rushers in the WPIAL.
And we just heard back from my son, Bill, and he is watching at home. He wants to be able to hear the broadcast. All right, ball at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. 46 seconds remaining in the half. Oh, yeah. Lebo going to a tight formation. They're going to take a knee and run out the clock here and be happy to go into the locker room with a 14-7 lead. However, did Central Catholic call a timeout? No, the clock is running.
I do not think they'll have to. No,
Yeah,
they will
yeah,
not
play-
have to call another play.
Play clock and game clock are identical right now, so they can let it run out in the remainder of the half here.
So, outstanding first half by the Blue Devils. You take away the kick return, which is the only points
That was it.
Central Catholic has scored, and that was on the opening kickoff. Mount Lebanon answered with 2 offensive scores. And really, I don't feel like Central Catholic has mounted much offensively, particularly in their passing game. nothing that really scares me there. Now Carruthers, he's a shake and a bake away from possibly breaking one. But that Mount Lebanon defense flows so well to the ball.
It is a young Central Catholic offense with the sophomore starting at quarterback and 2 sophomores at wide receiver. So Mount Lebanon's experience is standing up to them thus far. At halftime, our score, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils 14, the Central Catholic Vikings 7. Folks, we're going to step aside now and let you enjoy the halftime festivities and listen to the marching bands, and we will be back toward the end of halftime with some first half stats. All right, folks, we're back here for the start of the second half. Mount Lebanon 14, Central Catholic 7. Sorry, folks, I had promised you some stats here coming back from the half, and unfortunately the ones sent to us are incorrect, so we're not going to send those. I will tell you, I can confidently say unofficially that Alex Texa is well over 100 yards for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, extraordinary half, again, by Alex Teska, senior Army, Navy, Holy Cross recruit, running the ball. Those zone run plays by Mount Lebanon have been outstanding. Central Catholic has had a tough time defending the zone run, particularly when Alex hits it off tackle to the outside that C gap. Very successful running play for Mount Lebanon. A credit to the offensive line. As we said before, kind of the tone setters. That's Capristo, Halter, Klein, Harvey, and number 55, Joey Peters. Great job by the offensive line.
And Lebo will receive the second half kickoff. But if they can put another score up on the board, it's going to make it very difficult for Central Catholic, who has been struggling offensively against this staunch Mount Lebanon defense.
Yeah, this Mount Lebanon defense, first-team defense, has not given up many touchdowns. The only team to score on this first-team defense was North Allegheny last week. Otherwise, the rest of the WPIAL 6A cannot find the end zone against Mount Lebanon's first-team defense. Now, interestingly, again, I'm curious whether they will kick deep to Teska and Heidenreich, the two Division I recruits for Mount Lebanon.
And here we go to start the second half. Matthew Shearer kicking it off for the Vikings. Tex in Heidenreich deep. And this will be Heidenreich taking it to his own 6-yard line. Takes up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Bounces to the left. Across the 30. Gets knocked out of bounds. Tackle finally made by Xavier Thomas. But a nice run back by Eli Heidenreich.
Yeah, Mount Lebanon, starting the series in the second half. Look for them to, do what they did in the first half, and that was dominate the line of scrimmage. They're really matching up the physicality of Central Catholic, whom they've struggled in the past against Central Catholic. But we've seen them in some wildcats. We've seen some weird formations. We'll look for Mount Lebanon to continue to pound the ball on Central Catholic.
26-yard kickoff return. 1st and 10 Mount Lebanon. Ball on their own 32-yard line. We have Grayson D in the game along with Jack Smith, both on the left side. Smith's going to motion to the right. 2 wide receivers. Daniels looks, throws right. Complete. Nice catch by Eli. First down. Turns it up. And he'll get knocked out of bounds just shy of midfield. Nice pitch and catch. Joey Daniels, Eli Heidenreich.
Boy, like the quick passing game at Mount Lebanon. Daniels so good mechanically, knows exactly where to go, finds the senior playmaker, number 8, Eli Heidenreich. Great way to start the first half. First down, Mount Lebanon.
16-yard gain, 1st and 10, Mount Lebanon. Ball at their own 48-yard line. This time we have Beersdorf wide left, Eli in the slot. Pellegrino in the game now, along with Grayson D. They're going to shift to the left side of the formation, look for Mount Lebanon to go left, and they do. Texa, good hard run. He'll get 5 on the play.
Boy, I said it earlier in the first quarter. I thought we'd see more Mount Lebanon quick passing. Have not. Mount Lebanon has chosen to run the ball and run it quite successfully. Of course, that's why Coach Spieler is the offensive coordinator, and I'm up here broadcasting the games on the Lebo Live Network.
They'll call a gain of 6. Ball in the 46. 2nd and 4. Tex in the backfield. Beersdorf and Heidenreich wide left again. And you have Grayson D. and Pellegrino both in the game.
Central in their base 4-down lineman defense.
Texa right up the middle. Bounces left. Nice run.
Blow the whistle.
Forward progress is going to have him close to first down yardage. That's Specca on the tackle. But let's see where they spot it. It looks like they're going to spot it just shy. We're going to have a third and a very short one.
Yeah, agreed, Denny. I think you're talking 3rd and inches from here. He is short of the first down. Another hard run by the senior number 5, Alex Teska.
Look for a quick QB sneak here for Joey Daniels.
Boy, if we were, I'd like him to line up under center, but let's see what Joey can do here from the shotgun. He's going to hand off, Texa, first down. Bounces right. He'll get about 4 on the play. First down, Mount Lebanon.
Boy, really surprised me on that play. 3rd and 1, and Central's linebackers were 4 to 5 yards off the ball and did not move forward on the snap, as if they thought we might pass or something. I mean, very surprising. Easy pickup first down for Alex Teska. Mount Lebanon moving the ball. 2 consecutive first downs on this drive.
Ball now at the Viking 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Lebo will keep with the same formation. Daniels will roll left this time. Throws, complete. Beersdorf, makes a nice move to make the tackler miss.
Nice
He'll get
job.
about 4 or 5 extra yards because of that. Xavier Thomas is on the play along with Matthew Olasino, but it'll be enough for another Mount Lebanon first down.
Another one of Mount Lebanon's multi-sport athletes. That's Beiersdorf, plays baseball, football, and basketball. Of course, his grandfather, a famous player for the Big Ten Golden Gophers at the University of Minnesota.
1st and 10. Ball on Central's 29-yard line. Lebo will shift the formation to 3 wide to the right this time. You have Grayson Diaz, a tight end to the left. Texa breaks one tackle. Nice spin move. He's going to be close to another Lebo first down, almost 10 yards, and that's about what he averages, 9.5 yards a carry.
Colin, you mentioned at the end of the first half, when 4 minutes left and Mount Lebanon took over with the drive, that Mount Lebanon might start to assert itself. It looks like they're asserting themselves to start this third quarter.
Yeah, you look at the Central Catholic defense and on the hits of defensive linemen. Mount Lebanon is really wearing them down here with excellent prolific rushing attack.
Motion, Heidenreich, he'll take
Pass.
it, and he's going to turn back. Looks like he wants to throw it. He's going to throw it toward the end zone. Joey Daniels, touchdown! Mount Lebanon, wow! A handoff to Eli Heidenreich, and Joey Daniels takes it down the left side, open in the corner of the end zone. Eli Heidenreich threw a strike. Joey got it around the 2-yard line, takes it in for another Lebo touchdown.
We talk about versatile athletes. Joey Daniels, certainly one of them. Quarterback, now pass receiver. Huge reception for Daniels. Touchdown. Heidenreich, excellent pass. Well-designed play by offensive coordinator Marty Spieler. That's 20-7, extra point pending, Blue Devils. Hang on a second, Denny.
We have Joey Daniels shaking up on the sideline here, coming down the track. Colin thinks it was a shoulder injury from what he could see. Buddha's kick is good. 9:08 remaining here in the third. Lebo up 21-7, but let's hope Joey Daniels, this is nothing serious, really need him if we're going to go to the places we want to go this year.
Looks like it's a finger, Denny. That towel over his fingers. Looks like we saw it last night in the NFL. Russell Wilson popped his finger out.
Yep.
Hopefully that's not the case with Joey. Hopefully just a stinger. But that, other than the injury, a beautiful drive from Mount Lebanon. Really established the run game. And then a little bit of a Philly special 2.0. Quarterback going the opposite way. And Heidenreich with a dot right over to the quarterback. Thomas, I believe, and Joey there right in the corner. But obviously, don't matter about the touchdown. The health, obviously, the big concern now for Joey Daniels.
Yeah, that's a bit of a game changer. You're talking about a 3-year starter, 6A all-conference player as a junior, co-captain of this team, having an outstanding season. Look, he'd be very hard to replace. The backup quarterback is number 19. He's a freshman, David Shields, incredibly strong arm, left-hander. Of course, we've talked about him already this season. Remarkably, David Shields, only a freshman, already has a scholarship offer for baseball for the University of Miami of Florida. Outstanding baseball program. He's an outstanding athlete, outstanding arm as well. But keep in mind, only a freshman. Joey Daniels is one player that's probably almost irreplaceable on this team right now, Denny.
And thanks to our folks from DV Sport here who do a great job filming. Brian Lowe in the booth next to us. He was able to zoom in with that video camera, watching Joey come toward the medical tent here on the sideline. His left pinky finger was basically making a right angle. Left pinky finger completely out of whack. So let's hope they're getting that thing back in place.
Yeah, I mean, hoping that's non-throwing. That's good to hear, right? Excellent. And then hopefully, again, that's not broken, maybe just dislocated, and they can pop it back in. Although when it's going that angle, yeah.
Definitely, we talked about the stars, Alex Texas, Eli Heidenreich, obviously those offensive linemen up front, but Joey Daniels, in my opinion, is the most important player on this Blue Devils team. From a leadership standpoint, and a 3-year starter at the varsity level, Joey Daniels cannot afford to lose him for a significant amount.
And keep in mind, before this season even started, Mount Lebanon may have lost its best football player to a lacrosse injury. Cooper Austin, who had offers to Dartmouth and Harvard for football, is injured and out the entire season. Nice job.
Buddha, a little pooch kick, taking it to 26-yard line.
The tackle by number 24, that's Louis Petrogallo. We've talked about Louis a lot. Also a WPIAL qualifier in wrestling. Louis' dad, Lou Petrogallo, also played football for Coach Jim Render at Upper St. Clair, went on and played for the Blue Streaks at John Carroll. Louis Petrogallo on the tackle, outside linebacker number 24.
That was Gavin Stanek actually on the return for the Vikings. He'll bring it out to the 31, the 5-yard return, 1st and 10, Central Catholic at their own 31-yard line. Wayner, handoff. Crothers, their workhorse. Looks like Beckham D and Grayson D both in on the stop.
Yeah, no shortage of brother combinations. We talked about it a lot. We've got the D brothers, the Heidenreich brothers, the Fennel brothers. Now I'm blanking. We've got a few other brothers that I'm just spacing right now on.
Heidenreich brothers.
We mentioned, the White Missile, Ezra Heidenreich and Eli.
Ball on the 34-yard line, gain of 3, 2nd down 7. Wayner, quick hitter out to the right. That's Brandon Jackson. And all kind of flags coming down as Alex Texas was coming up, and he got held on the play.
That was Tommy Boehner who got held on the play. One of the things we've talked about this whole season is how well Coach Kim Niabala's defense flows to the ball. Mount Lebanon always bringing multiple tacklers, particularly to the perimeter. You saw Mount Lebanon's team speed on defense shown there. Just not a lot of space for Central Catholic to capitalize, even when they swing the ball to the outside.
They're going to march that back, it looks like, to the 22-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd down and 19.
Yeah, and hey, when we were mentioning brothers, I don't know, I forgot the Javaden brothers, Alex
how could
and
we?
Michael. I ran into their brother Nick, who played last year on the team in the bathroom. Nick's at Cal State right now. Great kid. Nick was an offensive lineman for the Blue Devils. So the Javaden brothers.
Speaking
I forgot them.
of halftime, who did I run into? None other than Timmy Walters. Wayner throwing over the middle, complete. Nice throw and catch. That's Vernon Settles. He'll get back to around the original line of scrimmage. Tommy Boehner on the stop. Looks like it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 8.
Nice ball by Wayner. Excellent route by the Central Catholic wide receiver. Tackled by Boehner, who's been all over the field. And number 12, Brandon Anderson, senior cornerback, filling in for Sam Moore, having an outstanding game and a really strong season as well.
3rd down 8. Ball at the Viking 33-yard line. They're going to deploy 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hand off to Crothers going left. He has nowhere to go. Wow, interesting call on 3rd and long, and he will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Beckham D and Grayson D, the brothers, both on the tackle.
Yeah, nice jobs by Brothers D. A bit surprised that they would run a sweep to the short side of the field. Just not a lot of space there. Oh, you're right. Here it comes. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, and we are going to enter a delay. And, folks, I'm not sure what to tell you here in that we don't have commercials, as does Channel 22, who's broadcasting here with us tonight as well. So,
Denny, I think now might be a good time to review the history of Mount Lebanon youth football.
I'll take the lead on that, Brian. And the Mount Lebanon team is already marching back into the locker room. 7:07 remaining here, 3rd quarter. Lebo up by 2 scores, 21-7, marching for another. And boy, I hate to see this momentum get stopped in this way.
Yeah, Denny, what is the rule? Do we have to wait 30 minutes?
In baseball, I know it is. Having coached baseball all the years here in Mount Lebanon, I'm not sure. Oh, there's another lightning strike. So rewind the clock to 30 again. Wow.
Wow, that is, you know, that's how do you factor that into a game like this? Mount Lebanon in control, comes out of the second half, looks super sharp, takes the opening drive, scores, makes it 21-7. manages to force what appears to be a punt situation for Central Catholic on their first drive, maybe about to take over this football game, you had the feel, and the game is interrupted. Very disappointing. Also, one of the biggest home crowds we've had at a Mount Lebanon football game, and like we talked about in the last couple decades, the stands were filled, a lot of kids in from college to visit and see the team play. Just disappointing that we're going to have this delay.
Folks, if we could take you to another game in the meantime, we would, but we don't have that capability, unfortunately. But if it is thunder and lightning here at Mount Lebanon, I have to think it's thunder and lightning around western Pennsylvania and the Pittsburgh area tonight, so this could be affecting more than this game.
One of the things that is also hard to believe that it's thundering and lightning out is that it's also about 110 degrees in the box we're in right now. It feels like we're in South Florida and not southwestern Pennsylvania with how hot it's been up here.
Folks, we're going to take a short break here. We're going to leave the video on. Unfortunately, all you're looking at is an empty field right now. But like I said, with lack of replays or taking you to another game, we're stuck here, folks, for the time being. So relax, enjoy, and we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get an update on Joe Daniels' non-throwing hand, left pinky finger. That was injured where he caught the touchdown pass from Eli Heidenreich. So we'll see if we can get some information on that. Otherwise, let's set the table. It's 21-7. There's 7:07 remaining in the third quarter, and there is a thunder delay and lightning delay in place right now. This could last at least 30 minutes. When the game resumes, and it will resume, it looks like Central Catholic will be punting. They'll be facing a 4th down and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Again, 7:07 left in this third quarter. Jack Kazora, our spotter, is already on the Storm Tracker system for WPXI. And Colin Witte. Now, Colin, I know you're not doing so well in pre-calc. Now, are you telling me you're a meteorologist too now?
On and off.
On and off. Okay, part-time. Yeah.
Predict the weather. Flawless, obviously, top of the order. But one thing I want to ask you, Brian, is do you know the ruling on, God forbid this game, is not going to be able to be played? Will this go as a Mount Lebanon victory? Do you know the ruling of that?
No, I do not know. I do not know the role. I cannot imagine that this game will not be played.
Yeah, and it really, 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 really doesn't go in the favor of Mount Lebanon. Obviously.
Well, I'm sorry. I was distracted by what was going on over there. I can't believe they're not going to finish this game. In other words, I believe this game will be finished.
I got nothing to do tomorrow. I was just going to sit back and watch college football. But if it goes to 2 in the morning, Brian, what else am I going to do at night? So, and another. Maybe we could play-by-play to lightning. That's another one just struck. You got to get those band members off the field, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety first, as always. And I'm sure John Grogan and the administration, which does done a great job, they'll be working to take care of this situation and make certain the teams, band, all the support staff, as well as the fans are safe and secure. I'm going to yell down to my wife right now, who's asking for the car keys so she can drive home. And I'm sure she's going to come back, too. Not a proverbial fair weather fan, usually. Yes, she can have the car keys. Denny, I'm going to drop them down to you. Good catch.
Well, right now, Brian and I are play-by-playing the Lightning.
All right, so we're going to review favorite Mount Lebanon moments. Hang on, excuse me. We're just listening to the PA announcer right now. All right, so they're clearing all the fans out of the stadium. Assume many people will go to their cars and perhaps wait the 30 minutes for play to resume. And looking down, I just see Bill Hartong. Bill's the director of Center for the Theater Arts, a graduate of Seton LaSalle High School, and also played the lead role in Footloose on Broadway. Bill's son, Will, is a junior, number 43, and was the leading tackler on the Mount Lebanon football team. Will Hartong had a season-ending knee injury in practice before the NA game and is out. Big loss for the Blue Devils. Billy Hartong, one of the all-time great guys, doing a great job with Center for the Theater Arts, and he has on his shoulder his son, Isaac, who was honorary captain for one of the games earlier this season. Good to see Billy and a Seton LaSalle graduate, too. Speaking of Seton LaSalle, interesting coaching connection between Coach Totten and Coach Palco. Coach Totten was on Coach Gattuso's staff at Seton LaSalle, but I don't think he crossed over at the time that Coach Palco had started at Seton LaSalle, because I think Coach Palco was on Coach Phillips' staff at Seton LaSalle after Coach Gattuso had left, and then Coach Palco would ultimately join Coach Gattuso, the Seton LaSalle grad, at Duquesne University when Coach Gattuso took over the Duquesne Dukes football program. So there is a connection kind of between Coach Totten, Central Catholic's head coach, and Coach Palco, Mount Lebanon's head coach, and Coach Gattuso. And I've just been updated that my wife, Susie Walters, is not going home. She's taking shelter. So I was at the Stones concert on Monday, made for a super long week, and it reminds me of the song Gimme Shelter, which seems like an appropriate song to sing right now as we're awaiting a large thunderstorm to blow in. We had our second gathering of the Mount Lebanon Football Dads Book Club. Met last evening at undisclosed location on Washington Road. Someone just asked what book we were reading. Several different books, actually. Several different books. And some poetry, too. Some Walt Whitman poetry. There now appears to be steady rain coming down. You might be picking that up on your home view.
Reset the timer.
That's Colin Witte. He's doubling as our on-the-spot meteorologist this evening. Colin, of course, a senior at Mount Lebanon High School, one of 4 Witte boys, the youngest of the Witte boys. Now we got Aiden Witte. He's at the Jesuit University, Santa Clara, out in California. Is Aiden having a good time out there?
Oh, yeah. He's probably in the library right now.
Oh, it's a Friday night, of
Well,
course.
yeah,
It's where all the Witte
studying.
kids are on Friday nights.
Oh, said it again, Brian. And that one really. Oh, man.
So, Colin, let's tell our viewing audience that we might be down to about 7 viewers right now. What's your college plans?
Just take things one game at a time, talk in a football sense, a lot of schools out there, but definitely want to pursue the path of a broadcast journalism major.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Want to be
broadcast school, you thinking maybe Syracuse?
Yeah, definitely one of the top of my choices.
Excellent.
So we'll see what happens. Definitely love covering sports and being a part of the Lebo Sports Network the past couple of years.
Yeah, you do a great job. Do you have your own podcast?
I do, yes.
What's it called?
The City of Steel Sports Podcast.
Excellent. I'm going to have to tune into that.
Yeah. This is actually a good strategy from us, because as everyone goes home, we'll get more viewers, Brian. So
That's
two
true.
two sides of the story.
That's true. Good point, Colin. I had not thought about that.
But let's hope they can resume this game.
Again, from a play-by-play perspective, Denny Postufka has abandoned the booth
Reset
and
the
is
timer.
outside, and then just asked us to drop down his umbrella. which we did and executed successfully. That's the second thing we've dropped out of the press box tonight, car keys and an umbrella.
I wonder if this has happened at a pro game. Really? Lightning. Same. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was a Monday night game against the Dolphins. Super, super wet game. I think the score might have been 3-0 of that Dolphins-Steelers game. Yeah. All right. The school year has been off to a great start at Mount Lebanon. I know the teachers are happy to be back in the building, and great to have students back in the school building as well. Big night tomorrow night for Mount Lebanon students. It's the homecoming dance. And we are now going to try to put the windows back in. We've been doing the broadcast without windows, but we're going to try to slide the windows back in. This is always kind of a difficult move. It's possible the window could...
You're going to have to take much execution on this, Brian.
Right. Okay. Better let me do it, Colin. Okay. All right. And let's make sure there's no one below us as well. All right. Please do not execute this at home.
Oh, reset the timer. One out of two.
All right, success. We've got one of the two windows in. Why do we need the second window in, Colin?
Our wonderful executive producer Harrison Pittle said, better be safe than ever.
Okay.
But I don't
Safety
know.
first, always, Colin. So let's get the second window in.
Absolutely.
All right, success. We've got both windows back in the press box, protecting the electrical equipment that's up here. I don't know if people know this, but the production for Lebo Live is run by Harrison Pittle, who's a junior at Mount Lebanon. He's done an amazing job coordinating this. He also does the pregame hype videos for Mount Lebanon. If you subscribe to the Mount Lebanon football email list, you get those hype videos on Fridays along with this link, and he does an outstanding job along with Colin. I think both those guys are going to have great professional careers covering sports and producing sports. I'm surprisingly out of breath after putting the windows back in place. Yeah, it's a little worrisome. Jack, I wasn't going to go as far as to say it's sad, but okay, maybe it is sad. That's right, homecoming dance tomorrow night. The homecoming dance, I think, is going to be outside, which will be interesting if we've got rain and thunder. I wonder if there'll be a thunder delay in effect for the homecoming dance. Also, huge thanks to the administration. It's been a challenging year for them, just going all the way back to last year, but they've done a great job. This is 4 straight home games for Mount Lebanon. That happened because Hempfield was not able to play their game at home, so Mount Lebanon had to play. This is the 4th straight home game. Great job by the administration, led by John Grogan, the athletic director, and Dr. Joel Thompson, the principal, for being able to coordinate this. Great job by the student section as well for their enthusiasm and support of Mount Lebanon football. We don't thank enough the great work the band does. The hardest working band in the WPIAL, Mount Lebanon's marching band. They do a great job entertaining us at halftime. Love the halftime music, the Blues Brothers they've been going with. Great from Saturday Night Live. Brian Lowe, any chance we can do an interview with you right now? All right, hey, we're going to bring in Brian Lowe. Brian Lowe is the president of DV Sports, and also Mount Lebanon graduate. Now, Brian, do I have it right that you were an All-American high school soccer player?
I did play soccer at Mount Lebanon and football, yes.
Okay, and football too. Okay,
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about your career at Mount Lebanon?
It was more of a soccer career than a football career. In 1984, we won WPIAL in soccer and also won WPIAL in football. So that was a fun year. I got to be a part of 2 teams in the same season to win the championship. So that was always a good memory.
That's wild. Now, were there any other dual soccer and football players? Because that's the same season, right?
Yeah, it's the same season. So I came over on Fridays for practice at football. Art Walker, senior, allowed me to come on over and kick some field goals and do some kickoffs. We had soccer games on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and we had obviously football games on Friday nights. So we kind of just worked it in there. I didn't have much to do other than to kick off and make sure I could hit the ball through the uprights a little bit. But we had a really good team that year, and on football, and wasn't a lot of field goal opportunities. We had some extra points and kickoffs, obviously, but field goals was not a lot to be had. We were scoring some points.
Interesting. And so on that '84 football team, who were some of the names on that football team?
Let's see. We'd had James Moore at quarterback.
Okay.
Brian Amos was one of our linebackers prior to the time, where he played linebacker in Kentucky, I believe. I'm trying to think.
And is James Moore related to the legendary coach Joe Moore?
Yeah, that's Joe Moore's son.
Right.
His youngest son, James, who lived in Mount Lebanon here and played quarterback for us that year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
So
it's been a while ago.
Yeah. So football and soccer, playing both. Then you go to Boston College.
Go to Boston College on a soccer scholarship.
So it was
I
soccer.
Go to play soccer my freshman year. I was on the team. I wasn't starting. But on Saturdays we'd go and watch the football team play. This was the year after Doug Flutie. So on my recruiting trip up there for football or for soccer, I got to meet Doug Flutie.
Wow!
As he was coming out of the building, so it was kind of a cool
nice
experience. And I was like, "That's a pretty cool place. I think I might want to go here." So was playing soccer my freshman year and watching the football games. And the kickers at the time for BC were not the greatest. And I was like, I did this at Mount Lebanon. Maybe I should see if I could maybe walk on or just ask them about it. So I went over to the football offices after the season, and they said, come out for spring ball and just walk on and see what you can do. And ended up getting invited back for fall camp. So I had a decision to make. So it was either going to be come back to fall camp for soccer with a scholarship or not have a scholarship and try out for the football team.
Wow. So what'd you pick?
Well, fortunately, I guess football started like a week or two before soccer did. So I came back in early August and had about a week and a half there to prove myself on the football team. And things kept going pretty good. And the coaches were like, don't go back over to soccer, stay here.
Yeah.
And leading up to the first game, I had to make a decision about 2 weeks later. It finally came down to it. But I ended up being named the starter for with the football team. So I was a kicker that first year, and we played Rutgers, I believe, in my first game in 1986.
Wow. And so the coach of Boston College at the time was Jack Bicknell?
Jack Bicknell.
Yeah.
And Jack.
And so so that's your sophomore year of school-wise.
It is.
Did you have 4 years of eligibility
for
football?
Yeah, I had a fifth year in football. So that started my clock for football as my freshman year, so I had 4 years to play there.
Wow.
So I was a kicker for the first 2, and then I kicked and punted both the last 2. So, it was a fun time.
And I know you're super humble, but an extraordinary kicking career at Boston College. You graduated the all-time leading scorer for Boston College, which that record has stood for many decades.
It did for about 25 years. Yeah. It's been broken since. Matt Ryan, you may know, went to Boston College and is a pretty good NFL quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. During his career at BC, a lot of touchdowns were scored and a lot of points were scored.
They
so
sure were.
I think have maybe the most field goals in a career, but total points I did not have as many extra points as they had during that era. So there's a lot of scoring going on. So
now
but it was fun.
Something a little unique about your kicking style too, right? Was there something unique about you?
Yes,
yeah.
Barefoot kicker.
So not many barefoot kickers.
Design, not by plan.
Okay, so how'd that happen?
We wear shoes in soccer.
Yeah.
Right? But so this is 1986. It's the first year that Boston College has a Nike deal. And at that time, in the collegiate level, people could wear whatever they wanted up until that point, shoes-wise or whatever. First year, Boston College has a deal with Nike, and they're very strict. You can only wear Nike shoes. Well, I'm coming from the soccer team. I wear Adidas. That's what my soccer shoes are. I've worn Adidas since I was a kid. I could wear a Puma, I could wear something else, but never. They didn't have a Nike soccer shoe at this time. Nike hadn't got that far yet. So
Wow.
they gave me a Nike shoe. It was a receiver shoe, had a cleat right in the middle of the toe in the front. And so every time I went to kick, I would hit that toe, and it would kind of bounce my foot a little bit on the ground. So coming into that the first game I kicked with the Nike, it didn't go great, I think, if I recall. We played Rutgers. We may have lost. I may have missed a field goal or two.
Okay.
So
no need to recall that right now.
In practice the week after that, we were sitting there, and I just was getting frustrated. I took my shoe off and had my sock on, and I just started hitting balls, with my sock on. It was going pretty good. But what I quickly realized is you can't push off with just a sock on a turf. It just kind of gives with you. So I took my sock off, and I started kicking barefoot. And they were like, well, that's just as good as with the sock. I'm like, yeah, but it hurts a lot more.
Yeah.
So, but it was going through and everything. So at that point, nobody had thought forward enough to like tape your shoe up and put a fake Nike on it or anything like that. So we weren't that smart yet. So we were playing West Virginia coming up down in Morgantown.
Which was always a tough place for BC to play.
Doug Flutie never won.
Right.
Never beat West Virginia in his career. So we go down to Morgantown that week. I have my shoe off for the first time, and I end up with 4 field goals. We end up beating West Virginia for the first time.
Wow.
And I can't say that it didn't hurt. It definitely hurt hitting those field goals, but it felt good to make them.
Yeah.
So we came back, great win for the team. Play Army the next week at Army in West Point. I have 4 more field goals barefoot. So by that point, I'm not putting the shoe back on.
No way.
I've had 8 field goals in 2 weeks, and as much as it did hurt, it was like, okay, well, that's how we're going to roll from now on. So, yeah, I kicked barefoot for the rest of my career. On 4th down when I was punting, I had a shoe next to me, so it was a question whether I put the shoe on, not put the shoe on. And
yeah, wow.
As we know, Boston's not a warm place, so in the wintertime it got a little colder. But
that's an incredible story, an incredible career from graduating Mount Lebanon to going to Boston College on a soccer scholarship, then transitioning to the football team, and then becoming Boston College's all-time leading scorer. This is Brian Lowe, Mount Lebanon graduate, Boston College all-time leading scorer for over 2 decades, and the founder of DV Sport. Brian, how did DV Sport software come about?
Yeah, so after I got done with my playing career, so I played at BC, I had a couple cups of coffee in the NFL, got cut by Don Shula, amongst some other people.
Oh, that's a great, that in of itself is incredible,
for me,
yeah.
Which is nice.
Hall of Fame
coach. He asked me if there was
coach.
anything he could do for me as he was cutting me. I said, yeah, don't cut me. Keep my job. But anyway, I bounced around a little bit, and I ended up getting an offer to go to Washington State University. So I was going to be a coach, and I went to grad school. I got to coach while I was at grad school, and I stayed there for 5 years with Mike Price and his staff. And that got me from a playing set into the coaching side of it. And at that time, computers weren't where they are yet. We were still using videotape, but it was the beginning of putting data into a computer, trying to figure out down and distance and what we should do on 3rd down. And so it was right at the very beginning of that, and I just was fortunate, kind of at the right place at the right time. In '97, I left Washington State. I came back and worked for Walt Harris at Pitt for 1 year. And same kind of thing. I was helping out graduate assistant, and we were now using computers. 5 years later, computers are getting a little bit better. There's a company in Boston. It was called Avid Sports. That was the first company to do all this, to kind of put video into a computer, take data, and match it up. And after the '97 season, we went to Liberty Bowl. I went to the coaches convention in January and walked past their booth, and I was like, hey, you guys have that computer that we have in the football office. What we really need is one of those computers on every coach's desk, not just have 1 or 2 of these. So started talking to them. They offered me a job to move to Boston, and that's how I kind of got into the tech side of it.
Wow, interesting story. Yeah. So when did you found DV Sport then? So that's somewhere in the 98, 99 range that we're talking about?
I'm at Avid Sports for 5 years.
Oh, 5 years,
I
okay.
think I think 2002, I come back to Pittsburgh, and we moved back to Pittsburgh, and I was thinking about taking what we were doing at the NFL and college level. So the company I was with was working with all the NFL teams. We had all the college teams using this, but it was very expensive.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars to get all this technology, and I kept thinking, man, there's a really large market out there that's being underserved. They're still shooting videotape, and if we could really get this to the high school, that would be awesome. So late 2001, early 2002, moved back to Pittsburgh, and came back to Mount Lebanon, walked over to the practice over here, and started talking to everybody and said, hey, I think I got some ideas about something that we could do that would allow us to basically take video off of a camera, put it on a computer, and start to have start to add data and stuff. So the very first game that we shot, I think, was the 2002 season. In the same press box we're standing right now, DV Sport was born right here.
Wow.
Where we're standing.
I didn't realize it was at Mount Lebanon Stadium that was
And,
developed.
During that first season here, we were filming games and practices. We had a laptop sitting here. We had a Sony camera. There was a cable that came out of the camera, went into the laptop, and about halfway through the season, I went down. I had some contacts from working with Avid, and I went down to the Steelers and just said, hey, can you guys take a look at this, see if this is what we're doing over at Mount Lebanon? What do you guys think of this, and is it anything like what we were doing before? And the Steelers were like, that's as good as what we had with you when you were at the other place. I was like, well, it's not all there yet. So next thing I know, Pittsburgh's starting to look at it for practices, so we were working with them. Mount Lebanon was using it for everything, and not only a couple years later, we're with the Steelers at the Super Bowl, and they're using our system all over, and kind of took off from there.
Wow.
So kind of born here at Mount Lebanon, and then continued to grow from there. We have two divisions. One's our team sports side, and that's what we're doing here tonight. We take our video live. We're capturing it. We have a sideline camera, end zone camera. We have iPads for the coaches, both on the field, and if the coaches are up in the press box. So we're taking every play, we're capturing it live, and then we're sending that play to the iPad as soon as the play is over. We have some data that goes along with it so they can watch it with the players and themselves. And we're doing that for practice and for games for Mount Lebanon. On the other side, or on the other part of that, on the team side, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, every single office, every meeting room has a computer in it, and there is years and years of video, tons and tons of data. It's like a big search engine. So you could type in, I want to see every time Ben was in the red zone, when he had a cover 2, and what did we run against that. And you can instantly pull all that stuff up and watch all the
Your
video.
software can break that down and pull it out.
Pull it all out. We have reports and stats, analytics that get into all that stuff. So we work with about 12 NFL teams, Bengals, the Seahawks. We've been doing that for a while. We have colleges that have been involved over the years at the D1 level, D2 and D3. So it's been a really nice part of our business, and it's how we started. 2006 instant replay kind of came along, and that was a whole other direction. So that's the other chapter.
It's interesting because I'm used to seeing the DV Sport. You and I share something in common. We both went to Boston College. I see DV Sport in the ACC, always on the replays, prominently displayed there. So I knew of the replay of DV Sport. And what other conferences other than the ACC do you have?
All of them, I think.
Wow.
We are doing pretty much all of the FBS, Division I college football for the football side of it. We do basketball, men and women, for all of Division I. We have FCS, FBS football teams, so even a team like New Hampshire has our systems. All the Ivy Leagues have it, the MAC schools have it, American, pretty much anything in college football is using our instant replay systems. And you probably have seen the headset or seen the, if the previous play is under further review. So we just happened to be kind of in 2006 at the right place, the right time. College football was kind of going through a transition, and they wanted to get the calls right. The Big Ten was granted a waiver in 2005 to try to do it. They tried to do it with a TiVo. So that year they had a TiVo in the booth, and they were going boop, 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 boop. They were trying to rewind it, but you just couldn't be as precise. It took a little longer to get there. So we took what we were doing on the team side, live video acquisition, live capture, and then we basically we allowed them to play it back instantly. So then we had all the different angles coming in, and just really gave them something they didn't have before. They were doing some stuff at the NFL, but college really wanted to get involved with it at that point. And from a PR standpoint, it was kind of the right move, and we happened to be at the right place at the right time. The goal to get the call right as fast as we possibly can, but I think I've told you, I'll tell everybody, we don't make the call. We just make the equipment.
Great point to clarify there. Again, this is interviewing Brian Lowe from DV Sport, Mount Lebanon graduate, Boston College graduate. What are Saturdays like for you? That sounds like a fairly intense.
Yeah,
your product is on the line every day. Getting big games on Saturdays, getting scrutinized. Are you at the pool on Saturdays or on the golf course, or where are you on Saturdays?
I wish I was. We have a command center here in Pittsburgh at our offices, so we're basically monitoring over 100 football games on Saturday.
Oh my!
And we start that probably around 8 o'clock in the morning. All of our guys are checking in across the country, and so as we roll from east to west, there's blocks at noon that have X number of games. We get to the 3:30 games, we get to the 6 o'clock games, the 9 o'clock games. So we're rolling across the country. Half the company's based here. We're about 65 people, half in Pittsburgh. The rest of them are spread out around the country. So it gives us kind of some coverage a little bit to be able to be in other parts of the country. But So yeah, Saturday for football games, we start with Kirk Herbstreit, who uses our system on his set. So he's playing back video and watching video. He uses it in game as well. But now we do it on set with him this year for the first time. So as soon as he takes the set on with College Game Day, we're live with that. We have probably about 6 analysts that are using systems in the booth on College Game Day. Todd Blackledge is another one. So we have a component there for ESPN where we do stuff on game day with the talent. We have all the replay systems in the actual stadiums. And then a bunch of conferences, including the SEC, the ACC, the Pac-12, Big 10, Big 12. They have systems back at their offices. So not only are the decisions being looked at in stadium, it's also being looked at back at their offices. And so we have each of those conferences that I mentioned. There's a whole other command center that we've set up for each of those that we have to also monitor and make sure we're sending feeds all over the country. Gets a little more complicated nowadays because like a couple weeks ago, Penn State played Auburn, and Auburn came up to Penn State. They bring their SEC officials, so everyone is now SEC, including instant replay. So we now have to take a Big Ten school, which is really set up for Big Ten and everybody, and we turn it over to an SEC school, send all the feeds from not from the Big Ten, but back to the SEC. So a lot of things have to change each week that are kind of not seen by everybody, but as these games go on and teams are playing outside of conference, it makes it a little bit different. And then that carries into the postseason. We do every bowl game all the way up into the national championship. So.
Wow. So just curious, when you're talking about all the information technology and innovation that you've clearly refined, developed, and are perfecting, and then you talk about the business side of it and the component of having to manage all that. What is your undergraduate degree in, and do you have a graduate degree too? Just curious.
Undergraduate degree is English, and secondary education.
The power of a liberal arts education.
The gift of writing. Graduate degree is kinesiology. So once again, not exactly technology, computers, but was able to further my education in grad school, which was great at Washington State, and able to get that degree. So yeah, it's not exactly what I was trained for, I guess, or went to school for, but I always had a kind of an interest for all the tech and stuff, and it really wasn't. I remember my first computer class at Mount Lebanon was kind of like back in the day, and you would like learn how to make one little line of code and see something come out, and you'd be like, that's really cool, hey. But that's where it was back in the 80s, and definitely progressed a lot. Boston College had a lot of access to technology. Starting out when I was there, so I kind of got on the computers that were kind of in the library and things like that. And so I just had a little affinity toward it, and when it came up, at Washington State and the University of Pittsburgh, it was something that I kind of gravitated toward.
All right, now you just brought up Boston College libraries. Were you a Baptist library guy or an O'Neill library guy? O'Neill.
I was on main campus the whole time. I was not, but I was O'Neill. Yeah.
Okay. And just with all of your college football perspective and managing and coordinating so many different conferences and teams and programs, where's your favorite place to watch a game or favorite program, or can you give us some perspective on that?
A couple weeks ago, I was at the Pitt-Tennessee game at Tennessee, which was great. I had played at Tennessee, I've coached at Tennessee, and now we do instant replay at Tennessee. So it just always had a place kind of for me as an affinity. It was the biggest stadium that I'd ever been in, and I'd ever played at as a player, coached at as a coach, and now kind of been to as a fan or as a person working there. So it's really unique environment. Nothing against the Penn States of the world, the Ohio States of the world, the Michigans. They're all now 100,000 plus stadiums. But the first for me was just that Neyland Stadium, was just how steep it was and how loud it got because of the height of that stadium and how everybody was just packed on top of each other. So.
And stupid question, did they play Rocky Top?
They did. They played it a lot over and over. But not as much when Pitt was there. Pitt won, so they didn't play it too much that day.
Yeah, hail to Pitt.
Yeah, I've been to the Coliseum. We're out there, and I've been to I've been to Miami before when the Orange Bowl was there. So, there's a lot of cool stadiums around the country, a lot of great fan bases, a lot of passion in college football, as you know. And so it's interesting to see all the different areas and how each part of the country gets behind their teams.
Yeah, again, this is Brian Lowe, founder of DV Sports, Mount Lebanon graduate and Boston College graduate, just talking about his journey to get to this point. Really extraordinary. Brian, okay, so Mount Lebanon High School, do you have a favorite teacher from Mount Lebanon High School?
We're dialing it back here now.
Administrator, coach.
Administrator. John Wilcher is a great soccer coach.
Oh, sure.
Walker was a great coach. And, I saw his son. We obviously played North Allegheny last week. Right. So I got a chance to say hi to his son, who was a couple years behind me. And it's great to see him and his success and just kind of keeping that, what his dad kind of started and that whole tradition going, because just a really long legacy there with great football.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you also work with your brother Keith, right?
Keith Lowe, yeah. Keith
Yeah.
is based in Charlotte. He's our COO, also Mount Lebanon. But yeah, he's been working with us for about 12 years now.
Yeah, and again, super small world. I graduated Boston College with Keith Lowe. We went on a spring break to Hilton Head Island together. To just end that story right here before getting into any details about
It was
that.
golf.
Yes,
It's all
yeah,
a lot of golf.
a lot of golf, a lot of golf. Yeah, Keith, a great guy. What's it like working with your brother?
It's great. I mean, we've been close, obviously, growing up here in Mount Lebanon. Two sisters as well, Erin and Tara, all Mount Lebanon based. So it was, it was an opportunity. We went to, as you mentioned, to Boston College together. So I went to BC. Keith ended up coming to BC as well. So that was kind of an interesting and fun. And then we kind of went our separate ways for about 10 years. He was in the banking industry in Charlotte, and we had an opportunity. And I just said, "Listen, I'd love to work with you." And made him an offer that he couldn't refuse. So it was good to kind of come back, and it's nice to be, working with somebody that you've known your entire life and kind of know each other's moods and moves and what we're going to do. So it's nice. It's really, I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the ability for us to continue to work together.
That's great. And so, Brian, for the younger people who are listening, I mean, incredible entrepreneurial success. Took some risks along the way. If you had to give advice to the younger people who are out there listening who are thinking of making a move,